We're going big with the Cadillac of baseball cards. It's 1993 Fleer Flair, their premier edition. 10 cards in this well-sealed box. Also, 1990 Fleer, the 10th anniversary edition, on today's episode. I've said before on the channel, I consider the junk wax era 1987 to 1994. I always say give or take, partly because brands like Flair came out and really revolutionized the quality, the presentation, the inserts, the subsets, all of those things that propelled the hobby out of the doldrums represented here in this case by 1990 Fleer. We're going to open them first so that we build the suspense for the Flair. Thanks for being here on this episode of Junk Wax Genius, the show on YouTube where a grown man opens old baseball cards and talks about it. Often duplicated, never imitated, Junk Wax Genius. So here today we get, we're drinking Fleer's milkshake because we get two stickers, the Braves and the Giants. And we continue, Jim Traber, Craig Biggio, excellent, Dave Henderson, Ron Gant, nice, Andy Hawkins, Pat Combs, Jeff Kunkel, Joe Baver. We got NL East rivals, Howard Johnson and Ryan Sandberg. Tony Pena, Steve Olin. There's Howard Johnson's base card. Greg Olson. He just came off 27 saves and a sub 1.7 for that matter, ERA. Pretty good. Jeff Peterek. Sorry, Jeff. Steve Farr. Haven't seen him in a while. Steve Farr. Steve Neer. Steve Farr. And Don Asse. I never, ever get tired of that joke. All right, Craig Biggio, pick of the pack, if I say so myself. All right, on to the Flair. So tightly wrapped, I'd say this all the time, well preserved in this plastic wrap. We've got to get the utility knife out to score the plastic, to slice the plastic so we can get to the actual cards. Otherwise, it would be another 2 minutes of me just like desperately looking for a seam to get into. 93 Flair. We've got cards again wrapped in plastic. Lou Whitaker on the front. And who is that on the back? Jose Rijo. I didn't know that he was the son-in-law of Juan Marichal. How about that? Do we leave it sealed? I've tampered with this idea before. It's the channel where we open baseball cards. So yes, we're opening it, even though there's a Lou Whitaker showing. Did you see the one where I opened a Ken Griffey Jr. hot glove showing? Cost myself a couple $100. Lou Whitaker, Jeff Montgomery, Kurt Manwaring. Sometimes these cards look like they were from the Olin Mills Portrait Studio. I got to flip this one around to show you Mark Lemke. Cool glasses, Mark. Jeff Russell. There's Harold Reynolds. Matt Noakes. Jack Armstrong. Chris Jones. And the front of Jose Rijo. All right, just beautiful cards. Nice, thick card stock. You only get 10 in this pack, but look how they compare against the Fleer pack in terms of, card thickness. Hard to overstate. I wish you could see and feel the actual gloss on these cards yourselves. Look at the studio lights overhead. Unbelievable. The class. They feel nice, and they don't really smell like anything. Not like Stadium Club, but still. The premiere edition of Fleer's Flair. On today's episode of Junk Wax Genius, the channel where we open old baseball cards and talk about it. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. I know you have options when it comes to watching grown men open old baseball cards on YouTube. Thank you for choosing Junk Wax Genius. We'll see you tomorrow with two completely different packs altogether.